voice-over race recap video. This is the 2026 Snake Alley Cat 3-4 men's race. Right off the start, I did miss my pedal, so it took me a while to get clipped in. I had some ground to make up going into the first hill. A new positioning would be pretty critical on the first lap, so let's just watch and see how the hill goes. Found a nice gap right here, shot around the inside of the corner, and then did the same thing again right here, just trying to keep my momentum up. And at that point, I just settled in as the bunch starts to get pretty spread out. So was this a mistake, spending the energy to go gain places, or should I have sat in? We got to the top of the hill, and I let the wheel go. I had my teammate Tate right up there, and I thought I'd be able to bring this back on the downhill a lot faster than I actually was. So this is definitely a mistake, tail gunning and leaving a little too much gap on the downhill. So you can see that gap just continuing to grow. Having a little extra space wasn't a bad thing, so I was able to take my own lines and keep speed going high through the corners. And going into this last corner, there's definitely some chaos here. So a CCA rider had gone down, hit that light pole. Another rider had to unclip. My teammate locked his back wheel up, and I braked pretty hard for this. I probably should have just kept going and forced my way through it and been aggressive, but I played it conservative, put my arm up, and now we're paying for it a little bit, trying to bridge back. So these two riders come around from ICD, so I just hop on their wheel and take the tow back to the hill. Second lap up the hill, you can see we've made it back onto the back of the main group, and I'm just sitting in, trying to conserve some energy. Had to burn a little bit of a match after that crash. And you can see gaps are starting to form. So this ICD kid has blown up and let a gap open in front of him, so I'm going to try to stay on the gas and get back to that group. And this hurts pretty bad, still doing 350, 400 watts on the false flat after the climb. So now I'm just taking the downhill at my own speed again, hoping I can come back onto a group, but the front of the race is so fast that's just not going to happen. Coming through the second to last corner, the CCA rider is still there and still down, but fortunately nobody else has repeated the lap 1 chaos. And now is where I'm really starting to pay for it, doing 400 plus watts down the start finish straight and still getting passed by riders. So this was another mistake here, doing too much work on this false flat and just not allowing myself to recover going into the hill. I did get smart and dropped down to zone 2. But that might have been too little too late, starting to get past going into the hill again. And now it's just hang on for dear life. You can see riders are starting to blow on the hill. I'm passing a couple people, but I'm also getting dropped from the group that had just come around me. And now I'm really starting to feel it, just grinding it up here at 60 RPM. Not able to keep the power down on the false flat as much as the prior lap. And another quick look over the shoulder to see who's coming. Starting to get caught by some riders who paced it a little better than myself. And at this point, the race is over for me. It's just ride my own tempo into the finish as long as I can stay in the race. I'll spare you from watching the rest of my suffering, but let me know, what should I have done different?